IPW fans, and welcome to another edition of the IPW Insider, IPW's ongoing video series that brings you up to date on all IPW news and events. I'm your host and IPW commentator, Mark Franchise.
And from the Crucial Squared Circle podcast, one half of IPW's award-winning commentary team and chairwoman of the IPW Mental Wellness Task Force, I'm Davison Sarai.
Well, Davison, it happened. IPW had its historic event, War on the Shore, aboard the USS LST 393 in Muskegon, Michigan, on Sunday, July 25th. There were 1,000 of these ships produced for World War II, and this ship in particular was used to storm the beaches of Normandy on D-Day. Nothing of this magnitude has ever been attempted by another independent wrestling company in Michigan, and IPW fans in attendance were truly treated to a slice of wrestling history.
They sure were, and there was plenty of unfinished business coming into War on the Shore following IPW's most recent event, the Fate of 8, where Josh Raymond was crowned the new interim IPW champion. He defeated 3 men on that night, including both Tommy Vendetta and Aaron Orion from the Death Threat Army, and had his newly won property stolen by the DTA, saying that he could have his title back if he could defeat Aaron Orion in a winner-takes-all ladder match for both the Michiana title and the IPW interim championship.
Before any of that would be settled, fans in attendance were first treated to a singles bout featuring the brawn and the power of the Specimen, Chad Alpha, taking on the agile assassin of IPW, and recent standout, the Anime Assault Solo. After a high-impact match featuring impressive offensive from both participants, Solo was eventually able to use his speed and agility to take the win, making his first singles victory in his IPW tenure.
Congratulations to Solo on his first big win, and kudos to the Specimen, Chad Alpha. Something tells me we may see more from him in the future. The second bout of the night was full of bad blood, as former IPW referee and the Colonel of Clapping Cheeks, LaDon Sanders, took on his former colleague and fellow former IPW referee, the sadistic Jeremiah Nazareth. Fans will recall that Jeremiah was assaulted and thrown through a table by Jimmy Hype Shalwin back in May, leading to his angry declaration that IPW needs to do a better job of protecting its officials.
Though angry he may have been, it didn't stop Jeremiah from screwing LaDon Sanders out of a victory after being paid off by Derek Wolfe. After Jeremiah officiated the bout between Sanders and Wolfe, he peeled off his neck brace to reveal that he was not injured after all on his way to a brutal beating of the Colonel. Jeremiah released a video in which he challenged LaDon Sanders to this bout at War on the Shore, and their bad blood came to a boil as they met one-on-one.
From start to finish, this match was all action. The advantage tipped back and forth between both combatants, leading to a 10-foot-plus dive by Sanders from the upper deck of the USS LST 393. After nearly 20 minutes of action, Jeremiah produced an illegal object, hoping to attack Sanders behind the referee's back. The ref caught him and confiscated the weapon, but while he turned to remove it from the ring, a member of the crowd handed Nazareth another baton, leading to him assaulting LaDon Sanders and being disqualified in the process. Franchise, the animosity between these two just radiated out of the ring, and one would have to think that there are more chapters left to be written between these two.
Next, IPW fans were joined by the self-professed Senator of Success, Derek Wolfe. He reminded the crowd about the beating he administered to Jamal King back at Fate of 8, admitting that he lost the match due to his own arrogance, but highlighting the curb stomp he delivered to King's face that knocked him out of the IPW Interim Grand Prix tournament in the process. Sticking with his recent trend, Derek Wolfe next offered a $500 challenge.
We've seen Derek Wolfe offer $500 to wrestlers at recent IPW events, saying people were afraid to face him and that IPW management was failing to line up willing opponents. On this night, he instead made the offer to a young fan, saying he would pay the young man $500 if he could dribble a basketball 10 times. Before the young fan was able to reach 10, Wolfe kicked the ball out of the ring, thus avoiding having to pay the fan the reward. However, the offers did not end there.
Definitely not, as he then offered $500 to any wrestler who was willing to face him in a hardcore match. That challenge was accepted by the 1-2-3 kid of IPW, the always nostalgic Felix Moria. Moria came to the ring carrying a trash can and a 2x4, obviously ready for a fight. Fans could be heard shouting, "Ho!" and "USA!" throughout the bout as they supported Moria in his quest to defeat and ultimately shut the mouth of Derek Wolfe.
The action was hot and heavy, featuring Moria hitting Derek Wolfe with his own patented iPad, and Moria landing a monstrous coast-to-coast dropkick, driving a trash can into the face of Derek Wolfe. As the match progressed, it became apparent that Derek Wolfe felt no need to continue, and he attempted to flee the ship mid-fight to avoid further punishment from Moria.
This led to further action in the parking lot as Moria pursued Derek Wolfe in an attempt to continue the assault. Derek Wolfe eventually reached reached into what turned out to be his rental car, bringing out yet another iPad and this time smashing Felix Moria in the face for the hard-fought 1-2-3. The second the match was over, Wolfe got into his rental car and drove away from the event, giving IPW fans the one-finger salute along the way. Davison Derek Wolfe once again cheated to win, and this time treated the fans with total disrespect.
Next up, we had a three-way match to determine the new #1 contender for the interim IPW Championship, featuring the swag champ Ren Jones, the DTA's own Black Diamond Jack Price, and winner of recent three-way bout on his way to becoming the #1 contender for the Michiana title, fellow Death Threat Army member Adam effing Wick. The opening moments of the match saw DTA brethren Jack Price and Adam Wick attempting to team up on Ren Jones, but Jones was able to use his power and speed to keep the upper hand against both opponents.
As the match wore on, it became obvious that DTA planned to destroy Jones and to make this match a true one-on-one between teammates, but neither DTA member would allow the other to score a pinfall. Whether it was planned or by accident, the fact remains that Adam effing Wick eventually double-crossed Jack Price with a huge super kick, leading to a pinfall victory and new #1 contendership status for the IPW Interim Championship. Davison Adam Wick is now the #1 contender for both the Michiana and the IPW Interim Championships.
Things couldn't be lining up any better for Adam effing Wick. Another IPW roster member has had everything going wrong lately, and that is Gold Team member Terry Van Avery. Jeremiah Goldmane, the 24-karat Lion and leader of the Gold Team, defeated Van Avery at Back on Track, leading to Van Avery being forced to join the Gold Team. Goldmane and his followers have been assaulting and embarrassing Van Avery for months, and this match was originally planned to be Gold Team member Brutus Swamping Atwell taking on Van Avery, where if Terry could win, he would win his freedom from Goldmane's clutches.
Unfortunately, tragedy struck and Brutus Atwell missed the match due to having a sick alligator at home. That led to Goldmane challenging Van Avery with the same stipulation himself, despite apparently being injured. Using his usual tactics of misdirection and chaos, Goldmane was able to pepper spray Van Avery before the bell, gaining the immediate advantage.
Terry Van Avery struggled throughout the bout, not only to survive the onslaught of Jeremiah Goldmane, but to save his very career, as he would be forced to work with the Gold Team for the duration of his wrestling career unless he could win. He was lucky enough to be offered a bottle of water by an IPW fan, leading to him cleaning his eyes and regaining his vision. He continued to play possum, eventually luring Goldmane into his reach and getting the surprise pinfall. Terry Van Avery not only vanquished his foe of the last several months, but regained control of his wrestling career, and I personally look forward to what he does with his career trajectory going forward.
Finally, it was time for the main event, a winner-take-all match between leader of the Death Threat Army and longtime Michiana champion Aaron Orion and the newly crowned IPW Interim Champion and longtime DTA enemy Josh Raymond. After their bloody encounter back at High Stakes, where Orion won in a ladder match, it seemed only fitting that this conflict take place under the same conditions. Fans will recall that the Death Threat Army jumped and brutalized Josh Raymond after his title win at Fate of 8, where Orion stole his belt and offered to return it if Raymond could defeat him at War on the Shore.
After years of animosity between the two, the latest chapter was written in blood, as Orion and Josh Raymond absolutely destroyed one another. As control of the match tipped back and forth, you could literally feel the hatred between the two cornerstones of IPW. Both men had multiple chances to win the match, and both decided to inflict more damage instead of securing the win. Yes, this match was to determine a new double champion, but it often seemed that the true point was to destroy the opponent.
After building a platform of folding chairs, Orion was able to hit a nearly lethal J Driller, dropping Josh Raymond on his head and sending both men crashing through metal to land unceremoniously on the mat. That proved to be the final blow, as Orion was able to finally climb a ladder to lay claim to becoming the new IPW Interim Champion. This victory makes Orion the most dominant force in IPW without question, as he represented the singles champion, but that didn't last long.
IPW management has passed along video footage of Orion being confronted by the bastion of accomplishment, Derek Wolfe, just after the show wrapped up. It's almost impossible to believe, but an unholy agreement was reached between the two. Franchise, roll the footage.
Orion. Mr. Orion. First, I just want to say congratulations on a hard-fought match and winning both championships. That was successful. You know, I had a shot at the IPW Interim Heavyweight Championship, and to be frank, I was unsuccessful with that. But I think it's only fair that I get a shot at your Michiana Championship. What do you say?
How is it fair? What makes it fair? You didn't win. So what would make you the #1 contender for any of my belts?
I am the most successful person in the IPW locker room. I have yet to be pinned in our post-pandemic era of IPW. I think I deserve a shot at your championship.
Now, the problem is that you are looking at the most successful. Look at the belts. They could call me Tommy Two Belts. You could come up with a bunch of crazy nicknames that you could throw on Aaron Orion because I am the most winningest professional wrestler to ever step foot in an IPW ring. So how about this? You can go hop behind the rest of the clowns chasing these belts, and you can earn your slot.
Let me take another approach at this, Mr. Orion. How about I buy that championship title off of you, the Michiana Championship? I've got a stack here, I think a fair amount. You see it for yourself. What do you say?
Being on a boat, the good son say, is a good place to make a business deal, but you're going to have to do better than that.
You know what, Mr. Orion?
Jesus
Hang on just a
Christ.
second. This is coming right out of Wolfe Industries funds. No questions asked. It's yours right now. All I ask is for the Michiana Championship. Take it or leave it. Make a successful decision.
Derek Wolfe has said repeatedly that he is the most successful man in IPW, but it's hard to believe that IPW management will let him successfully take ownership of the Michiana title through a financial transaction. You would think he would take more pride in being a champion if he won it fair and square, but maybe being seen as powerful is his ultimate goal. Nevertheless, for now it would appear that Derek Wolfe is the IPW Michiana champion, and like our fans, we anxiously wait to hear how this situation will unfold.
I have to share that sentiment. While I am a fan of Derek Wolfe and all of his success, this situation seems to undermine the importance of perfecting your craft and becoming a champion with skill. I look forward to further details and hope that IPW management makes the best decision for all involved.
All right, IPW fans, that wraps up yet another episode of IPW Insider. We will see you Sunday, August 8th at Full Blast, Michigan, as we return to Battle Creek for IPW Aftermath. Doors are at 5 p.m. and the bell is at 6 p.m. General admission tickets are $20 and front row is $25. Kids 10 and under get in for $10. Visit us on our Facebook at Independence Pro Wrestling, and we will see you Sunday, August 8th for IPW Aftermath.